Alright. If you're watching right now, that means you probably skipped the credits just to watch this part. Anyway, for this, try not to activate the cauldron. That does waste some time. And make sure you rat-a-tat-rap that note door. It's kind of an annoying thing to avoid just because he's basically in the way. And as I mentioned before, you should have 6 Jiggies here, not 5. So, I guess this is going to be a 99% run. I don't know where that last Jiggy is. I'll have to figure out what happened. But I'm pretty sure I got that in my part 1 tutorial, so don't worry about that. Anyway, looking at my totals, I have 25 eggs, 11 feathers, red feathers, excuse me, and 2 gold feathers. The gold feather note door is this one. I'm sorry. The gold feather note door is this one right here. We do not need gold feathers. You can completely skip that. We need all the eggs we can get. So it is actually very important we activate this. And grab that. This gives us double health. Way back in the beginning of the run, I did mention what the requirements are for 100%. You are actually required to get double health for 100% as well. So we are going to hit this. And finally, the last note door is the red feather door. I have 11 feathers. Technically, optimally speaking, we only need 4 feathers. 4 red feathers, excuse me. So I have the option of skipping this note door. That being said, if you are a beginner, I highly recommend opening this note door and refilling your gold or your red feathers, excuse me. So we're gonna grab that and activate the cutscene. If you jump into Dingpot, you can actually avoid that cutscene, but it's pretty tricky to get. So we're gonna jump in there and start the fight. There are 5 phases to this fight. There's my thumb. 5 phases. The first phase is the easiest, in my opinion. And what we're going to do after we cancel this text, we're going to put our butt up against the wall. Like, literally, make sure your butt is at the wall. Stomp to avoid all that damage. Get that little multi-stacked laugh. Kind of silly. And if your butt is up against the wall and you poop an egg, it should cling onto the top of that column. If you see it not bounce back and just kind of drop along the top, that means you're doing it right, and just keep pooping eggs. Grunty should run into at least 4 of them in order to go into the next phase. And once you get hit, kind of move away and cancel all the text. The next text that I cancel is going to cue a homing missile. Instead of using gold feathers, we're going to just use stomp recoil for that one. And immediately jump through the column. So cancel text. Bam. And it doesn't matter. You still have a little bit of prolonged invincibility once you land from the stomp recoil. So from here, we're going to shoot 3 eggs at Gruntilda. The easiest way to aim them is using the egg aim trick, which is just holding Z and R and then just using C up. You have to be pretty careful with the fireball she shoots at you, because if you're not careful, or if you're not fast enough, she can shoot fireballs at you and accidentally knock you off the entire platform. And then you have to start over. That's not fun. So anyway, aim, 1, 2, 3. As soon as you do that, start immediately running clockwise to the next platform. If you do see her shoot, just run off or just keep going. So, I guess something that I can actually I'll explain it in the next phase. So, the hitbox is not terribly big. Actually, no, I'll hide it. It is pretty big. But you can easily just wait for her to shoot it and then move a little bit to the side, like that. Just make sure she shoots it first before you move. So from here, she shoots a homing missile and immediately enters flight. You want to cancel both of those because the second text cues a flight pad. And if you fly up and spam B while she's entering that third phase, you can actually hit her with a really fast snipe. Normally, if you're on the ground, you need to use one feather to hit her, or one feather to get to her altitude, and another feather to hit her. Whereas if you're really quick, and I'm going to try and do it, you don't even need that initial feather to get up. But it's kind of fast and kind of tricky. So this takes a little bit of practice. Spam B. Got it. Okay, so from here, it's actually worth mentioning. You need to hit her 4 times, and I was able to get that first snipe easily. Going on to her second hit, whenever she stalls, she throws 1 fireball. On her third hit, she throws 2 fireballs, and on her third hit, on her fourth hit, excuse me, she throws 3 fireballs. Some advice I have is aim to where she's going to be. Do not wait for her to stall, because that is an unreliable tactic. Another one that I encourage everyone, never, ever, 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 ever aim down. Do not ever aim down. Because if you land and then you hit the ground, or if you hit the ground, you stumble, you can fall off the platform, and then you have to start over. Only aim down if hitting her is crucial. Anyway, so from here she'll throw 1 fireball and fly to the right. I'm going to aim to where she is without using any additional feathers, and hopefully I can hit her. Got her. So from here, 1, 2, and on our third phase, hopefully that hits. She doesn't really move, or it takes her a while to start moving on her third fireball, or to throw 3 fireballs. So you can just snipe her if you're really fast, like that. And then immediately after the 4th hit, look for the grating on the ground right there. This is also another section of unskippable text. So just speed that up. And go to the right of the grating. That is where the first Jinjo statue will pop up. From here, you can try and poop eggs into the statue as it's raising up. If you're too close, then you might get 1 egg, but not all 3 eggs will go in. If you're too far, one of 2 things will happen. You'll either miss the eggs because they'll disappear, or if you hit the Jinjo statue really late, you can accidentally soft lock the game. I've only seen it happen a few times. I wouldn't worry about it too much. But it's just something to keep in mind that if you do soft lock, that is the reason why. Just in case, I'm only going to poop 1 egg just to show off what should happen. So, I'm going to poop 1 egg right there. So, if that went in, you would have heard that ding ding. So, there's actually a few things I can show off here. So, first things first, cue that cutscene. Don't even worry about the fireball. It'll despawn once we activate this first cutscene. So, Grunty has what I like to call pseudo-homing. What does that mean? Well, if I stand still, she'll hit me. If I'm moving in a straight line, she'll hit me. What is her weakness? Circles. She will never hit you if you're moving in circles or zigzags. It's kind of silly. Just make sure when you move erratically and, I guess, not unpredictably. Another thing that I can show off is way back at the beginning of the game, I showed you guys that the Jinjos in Mumbo's, well, all the Jinjos, I showed you back in Mumbo's Mountain that the Jinjos follow you. Back then, it was trivial advice, extremely useless. Now, it's actually really fucking useful. Excuse my language, by the way. So notice how, once I move over here, once I start jumping, he's gonna follow me. And how can we take advantage of that? Well, oops. We don't have to do it for all of them, just for the last one primarily, but move to the center and jump. The Jinjo will hit her right away. So for the last one, jump and bam, she's hit. The last section is actually also important. This text can be skipped, excuse me. So from here, find her. She's gonna shoot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fireballs, and then a homing. This pattern is extremely important, and I'll explain why. Make sure you do not get hit by those fireballs before the Jinjonator comes up, or else she will repeat her cycle, and that just costs time. So from there, we're almost done. The last part, the Jinjonator. Deceivingly tricky. Cancel the text, reduce lag. So, as I mentioned before, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, and then a homing. And then she will wait. Let's see what happens if I get hit by this fireball. So 1, 2, start over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, homing. And she will always repeat that pattern if you do not get hit. So we want to take advantage of that sort of cycle count. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to one of the sides. Usually the back side will give you the most time. We're going to shoot 3 eggs, jump to the right, shoot 3 eggs, jump back to the left side, shoot 2 eggs, jump back to the right side, shoot 2 eggs, wait for the homing. So without shooting eggs, it's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, go here, homing. Oh, that was a little early. Oh well. So, application. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, now it's gonna start over. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. And then from here, 5 eggs. And then really quickly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you should get the last egg in before that fireball hits you. If you do die on the last egg you shoot, you technically do and do not kill her. What happens is, you get the death cutscene, but if you jump back into Dingpot, you get the ending credits. So you technically did kill her. It's kind of weird. Just make sure that doesn't happen, because it is kind of weird. Anyway, the in-game timer on this does not stop until Grunty falls off the platform and you see her falling. So just keep it going until you see the black screen. I like to see people usually like to go until they see the beach scene. They might want to see the entire credits. It really depends what you feel like doing. There's the fake fireball. And I'm sure everyone enjoys seeing this. Grunty is dead. Congratulations, you have finished speedrunning Banjo-Kazooie. At least ideally you finished speedrunning Banjo-Kazooie. So, I hope you enjoyed watching the tutorial. If you have any questions about the entirety of the run, please feel free, or I encourage you to message me on Twitch. Excuse me. And that's everything I have to say about this. Hopefully I didn't miss anything major except for Blast Jiggy. As I mentioned, part 1 should be complete, and I did get everything in part 2. So this should go over everything. Finally, I would like to mention probably the best character in this entire series, next to Mumbo, of course. Here we see, not Blubber, no one really cares about Blubber. Look at this guy, so cocky. I gave him his gold and now he got a Wave Runner, what a jerk. The best character in the game is actually the one behind Blubber, Melon Girl. That's just what we call her, Melon Girl. This is the only time you see her, but she'll always have a place in my heart. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope to see you guys speedrunning this game in the future.